One man, one mission, to rid the world of chronic anxiety once and for all. The anxiety guy, Desensitization, shares his personal transformation from living a life filled with overwhelming worry to becoming a full-fledged positivity machine, a leading authority in generalized anxiety. Dennis gets to the truth of your mental health challenges and sets you on a path to transforming each and every area of your life. Here he is, the one and only, the anxiety guy.
Warriors, this is episode number 202 of the Anxiety Guy podcast, and I am Dennis Simsek. I want to remind you that this podcast episode is brought to you by the number one anxiety support site online at anxietyexit.com. Learn more about my programs, previous podcast episodes, and all the anxiety inspiration you need at anxietyexit.com. Warriors, do you know where physical illness comes from? Do you know where these symptoms of anxiety come from? Do you know where all these intrusive and irrational thoughts come from? They come from you bottling up your emotions for years and years and years without even knowing it. Bottling up your emotions means unexpressed thoughts and unexpressed feelings. Men, you know this very, very well. Hey, you're supposed to suck it up. You gotta fight through this. You gotta man up. Do those lessons sound familiar? And so we go about our lives believing a lie, believing that we have to stuff everything inside of us for the sake of not stepping on anybody's toes on the outside. We've become tremendously sensitive. I mean, let's be honest here. How in the world can words affect a person negatively? It's absolutely ridiculous. Someone says something to you and you take it personal? Are you kidding me? Are they punching you? Are they stabbing you? No, they're not doing any of those things. And you know what? It's not your fault. You have stuffed and bottled your emotions up for so many years that now it's being expressed. Now it's showing up through confusion, depersonalization, symptoms, and such. I remember a time in my life where I had to do an exam. And the night before the exam, I was under so much emotional distress. There was no way that I was going to go through this. If I went through the test and failed, would I have to do the entire year all over again? What would my friends think? What would my parents think? If I get that F, I can never live with myself again. And so the morning came. I stepped into the room. I started doing the test. People were wondering why I was sweating so much, why I was fidgeting so much. I asked to go to the bathroom and I went about 2-3 times, came back, and you guessed it, in the end, I failed the test. And when I failed the test, I realized something very, very important. People cared a lot less than what I thought they would care. They didn't care. My parents cared a little bit, but I could easily redo the test. I didn't even know I could redo the test. So I bottled up these emotions. I never found a way to discharge them in any kind of productive way, and it completely affected me in my performance during my test. If we could express our emotions fully, we would never be sick, and we would always be happy. You notice when you go to a party or a get-together, there's always one person that you're so jealous of. That person seems to say everything that comes to their mind. They tend to do everything they want to do, and they couldn't care less about the consequences. But us, oh my goodness, if I say the wrong thing, don't say it, bottle it up. Ooh, I'm feeling fear. If anybody recognizes my fear, oh my goodness, they're going to judge me or label me. I might lose a friend. Oh my goodness, the word could spread around the community, the world. I couldn't live with myself. These people that we're jealous of, what do they have that we don't? Well, They've given themselves complete permission to feel on the outside and to feel on the inside what they're feeling. Sometimes we feel anger and we say, no, I'm not supposed to feel anger because my mommy and daddy told me that anger is bad. Are you kidding me? Honestly, are you kidding me? Why would God implant us with all these emotions if they are bad emotions? They must serve some kind of a purpose. There's no such thing as a bad emotion, and there's no such thing as a bad behavior. Every one of those things has a purpose behind it, a reason for why we do it. The unexpressed emotions come up in other forms. It doesn't go away. Energy must find an outlet. That's why you notice relationships falling apart today. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the divorce rate is, but it's got to be pretty high today, right? And it has nothing to do with the relationship. It has everything to do with taking the opportunities that is the relationship to discharge energy within a person that's been building up over the years. The anger and the rage that someone produces towards another person has nothing to do with that person. It has everything to do with the accumulation of what's been going on in their lives. And they've taken that opportunity, they've taken that person to release the stored energy. Energy must find an outlet. That's why you see this on social media all the time. Someone will post something related to blaming someone or some industry, and everybody will jump on top of it. That post will go viral as quickly as you can blink. Why? Because they have permission in that moment to discharge the energy that's been building up within them over the years. Yes, I'd like to join in. Right? Why do you think protests happen? Do you actually think that people are so passionate about what's currently going around in the world that they have to go out and protest week after week after week? Right? It has nothing to do with the actual situation. It has everything to do with what's been building up within you that has an opportunity to come out in that moment. Now the question is, are you productively finding an outlet, or are you not? You must give yourself permission to feel what you feel on the inside, on the outside as well. When I grew up, I was told that crying is bad. Crying is bad? If crying is bad, why do I cry? Why am I given this ability to cry? Crying is one of the best emotional discharges that you can apply into your life. Do you know how much I cried during my recovery? Tremendous amounts. I gave myself permission. I gave myself permission to do things the way I wanted to do them. I gave myself permission to feel whatever I was feeling rather than stuff it right back down. And you know what the worst thing is today in this world? Do you know what the worst invention ever is to me? Tissues. Tissues, that's right. What do people do when they start crying or when they feel like they're about to cry? Where are the tissues? I gotta find the tissues. Forget the tissues. Put the tissues away, for God's sakes. You've been stuffing these emotions way deep down within you that is now coming out as physical illnesses, ailments, symptoms, distress, you name it, confusion, bewilderment. Isn't it time that you threw out the tissues? Remember, the happiest and the healthiest people are the ones that allow themselves to feel their emotions and discharge them at every opportunity fully. So do it in a productive way and give yourself permission to be free starting today. Remember, you are more than anxiety. Enjoying this podcast? Don't forget to subscribe and leave a positive rate and review. I read each and every one. I can't wait to read yours. I love you so very much. Have a wonderful day. You deserve it.
Thanks for being an important part of the Anxiety Guy podcast community. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave a positive rate and review. If you're searching for further support on your road to recovery from anxiety, head over to anxietyexit.com and take part in the powerful End the Anxiety program based around the CBT model. If you're searching for a more one-on-one approach, you can sign up now for personal coaching sessions with Dennis via Skype. Remember, you are more than anxiety. See you in the next episode.